Keys, right? Keys.
So he'll be up here in a second to hopefully get him reacclimated back into Bitcoin.
So we just getting the live roll. I just want to say, wait a minute. So right now,
he's from Harlem.
Or he just happened to be in DC, or he came down?
He came down. He had something going on in DC. He's going to stop by and say what's up.
So let me explain what's happening. So Bitcoin Adventures, right? So we up in the workspace in OO Capital, OO World, the takeover, DC. Michael Phoenix is in the building. Just came all the way in from Portland. Just knocked my title off. I was the furthest person to come to OO headquarters for 2 days, and then he knocks me off a few hours ago and flies in from Portland to come up here to sit in OO Barbershop. And now there's a barber, and then there's a man from North Carolina who's sitting in the barber chair with the barber who's accepting Bitcoins.
In D.C.
In D.C. Look at all this now. He over here getting coins, not just regular coins. So we want to give a shout out to all the barbers who out there only taking cash. You might want to talk to that brother over there.
Yo, I gotta say how freaking cool it is that folks are willing to travel to come and check out our operation or just get better information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That is really, really freaking cool. Right, so please...
Hold on, man. Introduce yourself, man. Team Taurus, Washington, D.C.
Team Cancer, Washington, D.C.
Okay,
right.
okay. Barbara, what's your zodiac? Rep?
Scorpio, El Zeno Cuts.
Malik?
Cool Libra.
Okay, okay.
Pisces, Missouri.
Okay. And Demir said, what's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up?
I just want to say that we are an open office, so if you do want to travel down, just come hang out with us, chat with us, get some better information.
You ain't giving no address out.
You're more than welcome to.
So call them first and hit them on the inbox, and then we'll tell you the secret locale, because you got to get buzzed up about 15 times and all the other type of stuff. But we in D.C. though.
We don't want to switch offices every 2-3 days.
Okay. Right. So we downtown, you know what I'm saying, not far from the White House.
At least we're smart enough to not have the mining operation in the office.
Which is what I was hoping, but then I went over security. I saw somebody with $25,000 worth of cryptocurrency around his neck, so I was like, hey, y'all wilding anyway. So
let's come talk to the barber that accepts Bitcoin.
Yeah. So we want to have a conversation. First off, this is the easiest way to get Bitcoin. Everyone is to accept it for your services.
All right. So
you want to buy? Hold on. You want to buy Bitcoin? That's cool. But why don't you offer a service and say, I accept Bitcoin? So the barber done set it off because he done came in here. He made a house call.
He'll make home office visits for Bitcoin.
I
want them Bitcoin. So where I gotta go? You can't come to the shop? Okay, cool. Let me know where to meet you at.
And he's cutting a business owner from North Carolina who has a business. And so Malik, you said you getting ready to start accepting Bitcoin?
Start accepting Bitcoin.
In the restaurant?
Yeah.
What's the address? Because he would tell you
1050 Summit Avenue.
What's that?
Summit Avenue, Greensboro, North Carolina.
They know where everybody knows where some cafe is at. It's legendary.
Yeah, it's legendary.
Legendary.
You went to A&T, if you're Aggie, you know about it. If you're in Greensboro, growing up, been raised, you know about it.
Winston-Salem.
You like good food, you know about it.
You've been to
you got the best salmon patties in North Carolina. I'm waiting on some other restaurant to jump out there.
Damn! They talking big.
Best salmon patties in North Carolina.
Since we mentioned A&T, look, I need some of you super nerds to come through and hit us up. We're looking for cryptographers. We're looking for C++ engineers. We're looking for developers. Right? I shouldn't be hitting people up in Russia, Bogoslavia, and a bunch of countries I don't know about when we should be able to turn to our community and, easily. All right? Right now I'm hitting up way too many people in Eastern Europe about blockchain development. All right? I need you smart folks to actually start hitting us up too. Like, we need y'all. Especially since you're saying A&T. Holy crap.
A&T.
We are the number one. We're the number one engineering college, you know what I'm saying?
Period. We need more blockchain presence from A&T.
What y'all gonna do about Howard then?
Look, we've reached out to Howard. All right.
They're not engineering strong like we are though.
Well, that's
not that type of engineering.
Not that type of
Howard.
Yeah. Right, but so far, Howard has been, the conversation has been a lot more progressive with Howard. We actually spoke with the assistant dean. He was very receptive. We're going to set up another meeting with a number of the computer science professors up at Howard to actually get the ball moving for blockchain in Howard.
You can get a conversation at A&T. That's not hard.
Let's make that happen, man.
That's not hard.
Like easily. And even if the conversation doesn't happen, send me your bright minds. All of you who know computer science, C++, blockchain development, cryptography, we need y'all.
Remember, they're always sleeping in the... So this is how it works. I'm going to give you the formula right now.
Okay.
They go back to school in January.
Okay.
They sleep downstairs in their lab,
Okay.
just like that.
Okay.
All you need to walk in with a shirt and say, just walk in with a shirt and say, I'm looking for cryptographer.
Valid.
And they're gonna run up on you.
All right, cool.
They're
Valid.
gonna run up on you.
I'm more so interested with the folks who already have the curiosity and willing to reach out and looking to be a part of it.
All of our engineers are kids.
All right, cool.
They're not being forced in there.
I didn't say that in a bad way. I'm just saying for the folks who are you're blockchain curious, you want to tinker with it, you're ready to build something on blockchain right now. We need those ANC representatives to come through.
Now, doesn't this remind you of a barbershop? In a barbershop, you can talk about anything. We're talking about engineering in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? But wait. And then somebody over here put some ketchup on the french fries at the same time. This is a real live barbershop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They had no idea. So if y'all looking at us on security, what up? What up? That's what we do. So now we got to
This
get
is mad freaking cool though.
we got to get to the main topic right here. Now look, man, what a barber that accepts Bitcoin? How'd that happen? Where'd you get your first Bitcoin, or where'd you get the idea?
Well, this gentleman right here, Nari, gave me my first percentage of a Bitcoin. He came into the shop, just really educating everybody, and I was like, oh, this makes sense, and it wasn't any risk on my part to accept it. So.
Did you already have a Coinbase account?
No,
or what?
I didn't.
So he showed you how to do the whole thing right there.
Yeah, I was using the blockchain,
the blockchain
platform, which was really cool. I just kind of prefer Coinbase because I don't have as much time to like look through and all of that. But yeah, he sent it to me. I started talking to one of my friends about them investing in it. She was like, "Yeah, you have some," and so I went and I found my ID and everything, and then I just started seeing that grew, and I'm like, okay. Duh.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then even from that, on Instagram and such, I saw some hairstylists that accept Bitcoin. I actually went to it was like Bitcoin for haircuts or Bitcoin haircuts as a hashtag. And it was about 50 people, and I'm like, it should be way more people, you know what I'm saying, accepting because it's no risk.
Or you could lock it down and be like, yo, I'm the only barber in DC that makes.
Right. And I make house calls.
I make house calls.
What? Say no more.
I'm just making the money back that I put into it. Just from the services, getting that back in Bitcoin. So what I put in, I'm like kind of back at zero, but I'm still profiting because what I put in will be recouped from services.
So you just made your first transaction for your restaurant because I just bought my plate.
Coach bought a fish plate down here with Bitcoin.
Right.
First one.
Right.
I was thinking about starting it up in January, but then I have to start it up as soon as I get back.
Because he owed me, since I just paid for it.
I owe him a fish plate.
He owed me a fish plate, right? So then, but check out his attitude, because he's a real hustler. He says, no, that's my money. What'd you say? Every time you get some Bitcoin, you don't want to do that?
Because the Bitcoin is growing. The Bitcoin is better than those paper dollars.
You get $1, and that's
it stays $1.
It's gonna be $1 for a good little while.
So tomorrow that 8 I sent you might be.
There might be 12 tomorrow, and keep on growing.
So here's a hidden caveat for businesses, especially, right?
Just like a barbershop. Y'all see this? This how a real barbershop is for real.
This is a different kind of barbershop.
So there've been plenty of times where.
You don't want to do Kareem on shout out?
Hey, K-Dub, what's up, mama? Right, there's a lot going on in the office, as you can see.
Right.
Prepare John, please. We'll likely go see the mining setup after this.
Good.
Right. So for businesses, a hidden caveat. There was a point of time when I first got into San Francisco, trying to make my way around. Right. Most businesses don't have gift cards or any ways to have somebody that's not around to buy me food. Right. So when I got to San Francisco 2010, I got there with my backpack that has all my clothes, everything I own in it. Like, I'm going to go do this.
True African hustling like a Nigerian.
Hey, making it happen, right? I see a cheesecake factory. I'm like, I want to get something to eat. I ain't got no money, right? You can't just call a family member back in D.C. and say, send me a gift card. With the Bitcoin scenario, just like right now we're in D.C. and he just ordered a fish plate.
In North Carolina.
You just send his business Bitcoin address anywhere, and I'll be able to order some food for somebody at his location, regardless where I'm at in the planet. right? That's a serious hidden caveat that folks should pay attention to as well, right? Because birthdays, Christmas parties, Valentine's Day, whatever.
Giving your kids money.
Yeah, there's going to be a reason for somebody else to want to buy a gift card at his restaurant that is not in that location now, and now you can do that profitably.
Bam. Now we got to see why this joker came all the way from Portland. Why he's eating. Like, why did you break my record? Being the longest person, I came all the way from Atlanta. I thought I was doing something, which I think I was.
No. Right.
But
cool.
But then he gets 2 times that because he come all the way from Portland.
Two times.
Right. So what is it about cryptocurrency or blockchain or OWO that made you say, yo, I'm going to take my weekend, get over here, and then I got to go back tomorrow?
Yeah. So high level, cryptocurrency and this type of cryptography is the way of the future, hands down, no questions asked. And for me, understanding technology the way I do, I know that part of the cryptocurrency, the stability of the cryptocurrency lies in the network itself. So the more nodes that are on the network, the more stable and the more robust the network becomes, and the more it becomes a viable thing in the real world, and the more it can scale. It's clear to me that Inari has a depth of knowledge about this technology that I don't have, and I'm finding it quite difficult to scan YouTube, read articles, all that other stuff.
Forget all that. Go to the source. Let's go to the mouth of the water.
So, like, I'm here in immersion as best as I can get it from the man who has the plan.
Nice.
So,
Man came to see your brain, your black nerd Jew. That's what a little black nerd look like right here. There you go. There you go. He run the barbershop. He run the coin agency. Man, are you sure you ain't clipping on those? We ain't talking about that right now. It is a barbershop. And the barber laughing, you know what I'm saying? He knows something, but we ain't going to put all that on there. But
it is really a goosebump experience, man. Like, it is really, really cool to know that a concept that was in your head is actually, like, this transitional.
So this is a time that I go to the metaphysics. Talk about how people let their inner skeptic defeat ideals that they have in their head. What if you let your inner skeptic win? Does your inner skeptic ever come up and say, man, this is a joke, it's never going to make it, your coin is never going to make it to $1? What is your inner, how do you work around your inner skeptic? Because there's a lot of other entrepreneurs, business owners, and founders who want to know, they got great ideas too, but it ain't manifested. So they're saying, oh, only Inari can do that because he's special. So what, are you more special than anybody else or what?
Well, look, I'm not going to...
Pablo's in the building, just walked up in the barbershop.
Pablo, say what's up.
What's up?
I'm not going to make that proclamation of being more special or than another person.
So how many Africans that have big cryptocurrency like that they created? Pretty special.
Cool. I appreciate it, but obviously I'm not going to be as egotistical to proclaim that loudly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I understand the significance of it. I understand what it is. Look, it's been plenty of times that I said 50 years ago, like, FBI would have been ready in this office already, right? You're not going to have this conversation going on about creating your own cryptocurrency 50 years ago. Right. So I understand how powerful the opportunity is. Right? Being where I'm from, Sierra Leone, there's no way that I'm not building a product that's not in some way, shape, or form with memories back home. Right? With a few lines of code, you can erase the terrible currency of Sierra Leone. Right. Now, I can't come out and say that. I want to stay alive and out of jail.
Right. True. Hypothetically, what he was saying hypothetically.
Right, but I'm saying hypothetically, there are a number of folks who can now just erase the financial situation of their countries. It doesn't matter if it's Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Nigeria, you name it. You can literally do that with a few lines of code now. So I do understand the potential impact of the idea. Right?
So, how do you defeat the inner skeptic?
Honestly, I wasn't born with one. It's never been me.
Oh, so you had a household where like you were supported? Or
No, I'm definitely not supported. Right?
Okay,
definitely not.
It's some other entrepreneurs out here saying, well, if my parents would have supported me, so Inari's making it because his parents supported him.
Yeah,
Is that
right.
what happened?
That's definitely not what happened. I'm not saying this to shame family, but this is the second cryptocurrency I'm creating. The first one I created, Gamerholic, I couldn't get family to buy one for 1 penny. They never owned Gamerholic, but I still had it on an exchange for over 2 years. So think about that. right? It just wasn't my concern to be worried about, what my inner belief was not telling me.
So you're driven by.
I have no idea, man. To be quite honest with you, I get an idea and I have to get it out of my head.
So how is it that you not like? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like, look at the office spaces. You see this? His dream is like living amongst other offices, like other people who are dreamers, and it's manifesting. So,
but that's just to say I did it by myself. Again, team is very important. I have an incredible team.
So you got a support squad.
Yes. Now, yes, I have an incredible team.
Do you hang around skeptics? Do you let skeptics hang around you? How important is it that your environment be skeptic free?
It really all depends, right? Initially in conversation, there's going to be doubters, cool. But if 2 weeks down the road, 3 weeks down the road, regardless what the data tells you, right? If you're a skeptic that's blatantly ignoring data, I can't be around you. You're not a skeptic at that point. You're just stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah, right.
Ignorance is ignoring
the data is all around you. If you're willing to ignore data, that's up to you. Like if you go outside and the clouds tell you it's about to rain, you're not going to ignore that. You're going to go get your umbrella. That's what the data is telling you. Why would you ignore data elsewhere? That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's me right there. Okay.
So look, the transaction is going down. These jokers is getting the phones ready. They getting ready to do some Bitcoin transactions.
They get on there.
I'll come here, bro.
What on the
on the
Facebook?
On the line.
No, yeah, I was trying to see what your name was on there.
Kyrie, what you mean? He can't go to Malik. He looking for me.
Yeah,
Give me that, man. I'll find it myself.
Thank
Yeah. Yeah, man want to come through. He want to come through and be like, yo. He want to come through and see. He want to come through and see himself. You know what I'm saying? He right here getting money, and we live right now. There you go. And then, bam. Share that. Yeah, share that right there. Let them know you up in cutting hard. Right. The Barbershop. Give them a shout out again one more time. Where's the local shop at in DC?
My shop's at 2612 Georgia Avenue. It's called Best Cuts, right across from Howard University School of Business. The second chair on the right. Again, my name is Lamont. Instagram, LZenoCuts, LZENOCUTS.
You want to give out a phone number?
Oh, yeah, sure. 773-454-0621.
One more time.
773-454-0621. You can also hit me on Facebook, Lamont Zeno as well.
All right. How long you been cutting?
10 years.
Did you know my uncle, Fred Jones? You ever heard of Superstar Fred Jones?
No, I'm from Chicago, so
Okay. So the man came down here, innovator, getting his Bitcoin on for cutting, up in here, laptops everywhere. Laptops, jugglers is like looking at curves and, hold on, we're just going to scan. Bam! We got some of that going on.
Look at
That out. Over here watching new economy. Watching the new economy move, looking at what was that we were just learning earlier? The
Bollinger
Bands. How Bollinger Bands. I'm up in here learning.
Wait, you want to go back to the bands?
I want to Bollinger Bands. Bam, in here, bam, right.
Oh, yeah, we definitely gonna
we just had somebody that ain't Litecoin. That's new economy.
I bet that's the one I have.
But you want some of that anyway?
No. I bought this at 39. I'm cool with it.
You bought it 39 cents?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute. So people want to know what happened. Move the arrow. So what? So it's a high at 66. What's it trading at right now?
All right. So the high was 66. The low was 39. Right now it's at 43 cents. Right. You never want to buy when the coin is near the high. So if the high was 66 cents and the current price is 62 cents, you're like, I'm good. What are the odds that it'll go from 62 cents to 70 cents? It's way more likely that it'll go from 62 cents to 40 cents to 50 cents than it would be to actually break the 24-hour high, right? The concept is buy low, sell high, as in everything. You want to buy it at the low price.
So this is an example even for Bitcoin. You're saying that I don't want to buy it when it's at the volume going up. I want to catch it close to the bottom.
Yeah, you definitely want to buy the dip, but Bitcoin is a little bit of a different story. Like you can buy Bitcoin at any time, right?
Anytime.
Yeah, at any
time. It's going to pop it anyway.
Yeah, it's going to pop anyway, right?
It's going up. It's just trickling.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a $20,000 coin relatively.
By January. Light prediction.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
The 10th is today?
Yes.
All right,
Tomorrow.
And it's
yeah.
making the rest of the year. It's gonna make 20,000.
It's gonna be 20. We'll
Yeah,
say it. You
so-
might can't go on record, but we'll say it.
Yeah, so the futures markets opens on Monday. Right. If on Monday when the futures markets opens up, Bitcoin doesn't hit $20,000, I'll be very, very surprised.
So I need to go on and buy whatever I'm buying tonight.
Yeah.
Let me go and let y'all know that right now. I'm going to tell y'all now the rent is going to be late. If my landlord is looking right now, your rent is getting ready to go into Bitcoin tonight. What?
What's that?
I don't know what is he. I don't understand.
That's the Bitrex joint.
What's
I don't
the
understand.
line?
Oh yeah. What's a mind? Yeah, what's a mind will tell you.
But Bitrex has the high low.
So look at the barber now. So the barber is in here. The barber is in here learning and getting this game on to know how to go to what to mine. Now wait a minute. You telling me that you cut hair and you've been in here like just peeping just like a regular barber does, right?
Getting that info. Hell yeah.
Why you cutting? You learning about Bitcoin at the same time?
I mean, I gotta do a lot. I gotta do both. I gotta have something to buy something.
Take dough to make bread. Now we're gonna let Malik come in and teach a little class today about the horse race.
Nice.
So y'all haven't heard about the horse race. You got to give them this one right here.
Okay, well, the example that I was trying to tell Coach earlier was about when I used to be a young kid. I had a best friend of mine, and his grandparents used to always go to the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
And for a little while, I would tag along with them and go to the racetrack. But that whole racetrack thing was super boring. It's just horses running around the field, running around the track, running around the track. Super boring. So one time, guy had a couple of dollars in my pocket, maybe $8, $10, and I walked down with the grandson, my best friend at the time, a dude named Jason, and he told me how to bet on the horses. It was just a dollar this, dollar that. What do you call it? Where if it comes in any kind of way you chose, you win. If it comes in the way you wanted to, first place, second place, you win. So after I went back out to that field,
$8.
the racetrack was never boring again. That horse race was never boring again. It took on a whole new life. I was in the race then. Everything mattered to me then, and that's what I said, how I ended up getting started with the Bitcoin thing. I just, of course, I didn't know all the stuff, blockchain and cryptocurrency and who started what and why and how it's going to grow up and why it's not going up and all that. I didn't want to hear all that stuff, money, this, that. So I needed to do something to get me all the way interested. So I put a little money into it, actually just a couple of weeks ago, and that changed everything.
Interesting.
Everything started opening up to me. The blockchain, the how dependable certain coins are. What makes a coin grow? What keeps it sitting still? What keeps it going backwards? Everything started to matter then. So now I'm all in now. I see where it's going now. I don't know, and I'm like some other people say, if it ain't been stopped yet, it ain't gonna be stopped. I don't even know how.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And look at, as soon as you spent some bread, now here you are, less than a month in the game, sitting in a headquarters of a new coin that ain't even hit an exchange yet, can ask any question and get the answer like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can just be quiet and listen and be like, yo, Kanye talking, let him talk. He gonna answer the question. You know what I'm saying? I move a little fast, everybody. That's me. Sometimes I don't be feel like waiting. I want to get to the damn question. But here go the craziest part about the story. Business owner, world traveler, Malik, you want to tell them where we met? How far we done came now?
So I tell us, so I just come out of prison and no money. I just catch the bus and walk, and I was selling meat. I was selling meat door to door, and right around the corner from the place where we would meet up and load up the trucks was a gas station that I would stop by, and he worked at the gas station. He was a cashier at the gas station. But the way we connected, of course, where I am and where my potential is two totally different places. And I seen that in him, like, what the fuck you doing in here, in the damn gas station? Because he was talking these, these $1 million moves, but he in the gas station.
Selling blunts.
And here I am. You can't tell me I ain't no $1 million guy already anyway, no matter what's in my pocket. So here I am, I linked up with him. I said, oh shit, what the hell? You know, so from then I just made certain people my cousins, and he was one of them.
And like on Saturdays, if he didn't come through there by 12 o'clock to gas up or something, I'll call him and be like, "Is you good? Where you at?" You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I would enjoy him coming, and then he'd be like, "Yo, we running behind today. I see you when I get off." Cause he know I'm gonna hold him for 45 minutes. So he's sitting there, buy what he gonna buy, truck out there running, getting gas, and then he at the counter as other customers talking, and we out there talking about $1 million ideas. We're talking about big money. Like this is like on East Wendover, across the street from GTCC before you get on 85. Okay, so and I was riding a scooter. He come pick me up in a brand new Camaro this morning. And he was in the halfway house driving a meat van. And I still got his name up under, it said Malik Capital Meats. It still say I got him saved up under the same thing. So just grounding us, you know what I'm saying, of like where we come from. So don't think that it's too late. You know what I'm saying? You got jokers, you know, and why did I talk to him? Because it wasn't long before I got out of prison before he did. You understand what I'm saying? So now, and then he owns... Now I just sent him some money for a plate of food at his restaurant. That is a legendary restaurant in Greensboro, North Carolina, that they had let close down. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he came back, whatever he had to do to get the funds out, because he's an unashamed opportunist for sure. Now it's back open and operating at full tilt. You know what I'm saying? He said he do got to go back and hire somebody. He got to go make nice. He got to go back and make nice with somebody. He got to go back and make nice with somebody this week. So the other thing too, we talked about skeptics. So Anari was talking about how he doesn't have an inner skeptic. So now I want to just talk about, well, you just got mentioned how you handle skeptics. So remember Malik was telling me about how the dude was talking about the cryptocurrency can't make it because the United States ain't gonna let that much good energy be used on no cryptocurrency and you know mining and you know the Japanese. So can you give Malik and the audience tell us about what are the types of mining? Because the other night you were telling me about browser mining. Michael flew all the way down here. He want to hear about mining. So what's the difference between setting up a rig? What's this mining initiative? Because Malik definitely wants a mine. So Malik, if I told you you can get a mine for $1,500 and they pay you $300 a month, do you want one?
Well, yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Right. Michael, do you want one? Kair, that's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what we can do for
like
$3.
A whole small business. So you did that 10,000, 15,000. That's $3,000 a month.
Easy. Every business should have a mining operation.
And paid for in 5 months.
Well, yeah, paid for in 5 months.
And so on month
it could be
6.
sooner than that, depending on the price of the coin.
Could be sooner than that. Because you juggling Bitcoin yourself too now.
You got some place to keep it. It's got to be safe. So what's some of the things that he needs to know when you get your mine?
Yeah.
What's some of the things about security of your mine?
Right. Well, so you got a restaurant, right? Every single business should have a mining operation, right? Because you can put that in the basement, put that anywhere where you know it's difficult for people to get to, and that thing is just running 24/7, right?
Whether the eggs being cooked or not, ain't
Whether
no
the eggs
fish
being cooked or
frying.
not, you're good, right?
Whoa.
I got a room for that.
Yeah.
I got a room for that. It's tight in there. We can make a room for that. I've seen the setup before.
24/7, the restaurant is closed, but the restaurant is still making you money.
Wow.
Every single church should have a mining operation.
Boy, you talking big now. You
Every
talking
church,
big right now.
stop passing around the collection plate.
Hold up,
Put
man.
a miner in the basement, and you're good.
They need to come on board. They don't get it for free.
Yeah, but electricity is gonna be free.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the game. They doing enough now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
They doing enough now.
We want the churches. We want the churches to get minings too.
The
We want
churches gonna get mining operations.
What about barbershop?
Your
What about
electricity
barbershops?
is a tax write-off.
Do barbershops need to
Let's stick with the churches for a second. Your electricity is a tax write-off, right? So you mining Ethereum right now. You're good. Like, stop passing around the collection plate, for real.
Oh, now you're talking.
Alright?
Wow.
They talking about putting the word out for free and passing that collection plate around.
Oh, yeah.
And they flipping the bread themselves anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Then you talking.
and they're writing off the electric bill.
Yep.
Jesus.
What?
Boy, wait a minute.
What?
Call me Reverend Carter.
Right?
and Reverend Carter, and I see I got a bishop over
Creflo
here.
Bitcoin. You're going to change his name from Creflo Dollar to Creflo Bitcoin.
I already got a church already.
Creflo Crypto shit.
Okay, you're going to see, but I'm going to show you. That's all that is right there. Yes, I got some deacons in here right now who can get that right there. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so in any case, like y'all should start demanding that right now. There's no church that should still be passing around the collection plate in 2018, right? But minus all that, as a business, you should definitely
might not come for you, but the damn church might come for you now. Damn, you just stepped on way more toes when you just said that.
Not necessarily. I just told them how to make 3-4x easily.
Are they gonna make more money in mining than they are in
Hell yeah.
in tithing?
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
What?
So can they just mine one coin? Can the miner can the miner just run one coin, or how many coins can it mine?
Depending on the mining that you can get, you can do dual mining, where you can mine Ethereum and another coin at the same time. Right?
Okay.
How come you saying Ethereum? Why is your first go to?
Well, Ethereum is going to become the most profitable coin to mine moving forward because of their technology stack. Right. They've decided that they're going to go with a different way to mine Ethereum called proof of stake. Right. Right now, what Ethereum is trying to do, what pretty much every cryptocurrency is trying to do, is they want global legitimacy. You almost have to start functioning as a currency now. Right. You need to have the rules in place where your coin can have some kind of international stability. Right. So Ethereum right now is at 450 and some change, and they want this coin to go up to $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever the case. How do you make that happen best? Is by actually having means in place to control supply, right? Right now, Ethereum is unlimited supply, and they have to get a little bit more confidence with their billionaire investors on how Ethereum can become a better stored value like Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin is a great stored value because there's only 21 million of them. There's never going to be more coming into play. So the only thing that can go up is the value of the coin itself. So Ethereum now, they're making these decisions to say, okay, well, how do we control supply in an unlimited coin? We could make it so that each time an Ethereum transaction happens, we're going to burn off a fraction of that so that the supply gets shrinks down a bit with every transaction. Right? So you mix that with proof of stake mining. The proof of stake mining is going to make it so that you don't get as many Ethereum being released into circulation as currently. So they're doing everything they can to control supply. If you start mining Ethereum right now, one is 150. If it gets to $1,500 within the next 90 days, that is way better a profit than mining any other currency. Everybody wants to mine Ethereum right now.
So USI has a contract with Ethereum. They have most of their rigs mining.
It's impossible for you to have a contract with Ethereum. If they're promoting that, that's nonsense.
What?
They may have a contract with a mining company. They may have their own mining operation, but you're not going to have a contract directly with Ethereum. That's not going to happen.
Gotcha. Thank you for the clarity. Okay, absolutely. So now so that's a rig. Mm-hmm. And you also was like, yo, we need single moms need a rig. Mm-hmm. You was like, why should a group of women get together and like go in on a rig? Mm-hmm. Remember? Or why should a football team go in on a rig? Why should they go in on a mining rig?
All right, so let's have a conversation about women in the cryptocurrency, or women in general.
Okay.
Right.
We in the barbershop. Hey, y'all better press 2. I need y'all, everybody who will share this video, please press 2. And we're going to talk about women and cryptocurrency, so do not hang up the phone, okay? And Anari is speaking. Make sure you say this is not based on the, you know how they do that thing? Like, this is not based on the... Yeah, put some kind of disclaimer with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Fellas, this may be advice you don't want going out. The sisters, women in general, this may be advice. This is not Steve Harvey advice. I'm not going to tell you to think like a man.
Oh, good.
That's the worst advice I ever fucking heard in my life. Think like a man. No, you're a woman. Think like a woman. Right. So, in my honest opinion, right, I think that a lot of women are maybe in a bodily understanding or misunderstanding of empowerment.
Say it, man. Say it. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead. We with you. Go ahead and say it.
Tread me carefully.
No. Ain't no tread carefully. Go ahead and say it. They don't know your address. Go ahead and say it. They don't know your address.
All right. So I don't think that there are a lot of women that are in empowering situations.
Wow.
Right.
Single or married?
Single or married.
Okay.
Right. And it's a broad statement, and hopefully it doesn't get held against me.
No, they said hallelujah, and another one says spit it out.
Right. And I also don't want it to seem as though that an outsider is needed for a woman to be empowered. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
Right. But I think that there's already an assumed role dynamic where the male has these responsibilities and the woman in turn does not have as many empowering opportunities. Right? I think that's just the norm we've moved forward as a society.
Okay.
And it's become so much of a norm that it may be an instance where women automatically assume that empowerment does not come with the relationship.
Oh.
Right?
That's deep.
So we're in an age now where every single man in this room that knows about cryptocurrency, when they get in a relationship, they're in an empowering position, because the minute that you tell your woman, here's a Bitcoin, you've given her some incredible empowerment. Right?
Where she at? You heard that? Somebody looking.
I told my girl that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the very first thing that you've done as a man is establish that you are not threatened by her financial potential. Right?
A lot of women right now, though, are making more money than the men, and they will tell you that my purse is my purse, and they have the purse attached to. They say, like somebody said, like the brain, the vagina, and the purse are all attached.
Okay.
So, like, women have really been trying to get their coins up.
Okay.
So now you're saying that with Bitcoins or just cryptocurrency, they have that ability to, like, just have more power? What do you mean?
Absolutely, because the financial dynamics in the relationship has changed. Right? Like, she can easily make $5,000 this month with just a few trades.
And leave you.
Right? Right? So as a man, if that was your concern before, that, my woman has to come to me, or my woman relies on me for gas, and it may not be fortunes, but little small things here and there that play a part in helping out her financial situation, right? If now she can make $5,000 on her own with just a handful of trades, you as a man, you have to become comfortable with that.
Yep.
Right? This may have been your source of confidence in the past. You felt good that you could provide for your woman.
Okay, so let's go back to the woman who makes more money than the man. Can he get some empowerment now?
Well,
should she? I know you're African though, and I remember you didn't come over till you was 12,
Okay.
and so sometimes I'll be having to put you up on what's going on in America. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the norm, like no more. Sometimes she's making more because she got more education. She's more tech oriented. You know what I'm saying? And he's working at one thing, and he put her through school or whatever. Now she's making more money.
Cool.
So is it something that can empower the man as well when the woman is making more money? Because some men are feeling like, well, I feel emasculated because she makes more money than me.
Valid. Look, I can't speak on on that situation, to be quite honest with you, because any man that's already in a situation where his woman makes more money should, in assumption, already be a man that's comfortable in that financial dynamic.
Oh.
Right.
Right.
Nari is spitting right now. Okay.
Good job, King.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
But in the majority circumstances, it's not like that, right? In the majority circumstance, that financial dynamic is not what you just proposed.
Okay.
Right? So now we actually have to become men who become comfortable with our women being economically empowered. Right? I would love to hear from women how being Bitcoin active has changed your dating dynamic or even relationship dynamic.
right? If that concern of meeting somebody who makes this much or who can do this much for you financially has been completely eliminated in the decisions and how you choose your mate, then you should be, either dating more quality men, or you should be. What has that financial requirement been replaced with in what you're looking for in a mate? Right.
Darla said, "Be comfortable with my coins and still provide." That's what she wants. She wants him to be comfortable with my coins and still provide.
All right, then that might be a conversation that women need to huddle up and decide how we're going to move forward.
What do you mean?
Because if you're saying that be comfortable with my coins, despite the fact that you just made $10,000 in trading, right, and you still want me on my own independence to pay for this, that, and the other, right? It's a different financial dynamic now.
Y'all not a team.
Yeah.
Y'all not a team.
Oh, they're not a team.
Y'all not a team.
So if so,
Not in that scenario.
No, that's each person for themselves.
Okay.
oh,
Y'all not a team.
so her coins can't be her coins.
Of course, her coins can be her coins. Yeah, go ahead.
But I'm saying if she come to you and be like, "Yo, I made 10 grand," you know what I'm saying, yesterday, you down there slaving at the restaurant,
Right.
but you didn't make 10 grand at the restaurant like all week.
Right.
And then she said, "Well, I need you to still, you gotta pay these bills in here, Malik."
No. But that's what I mean. If you dare to pay the bills, that's one thing. But if you're there as a team, that's two different things.
Very true.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
money shouldn't be an issue if you guys are a team.
Very true.
Don't get me wrong. Her money is her money, but what are you?
You might just be the do boy sitting on the couch.
Bingo. And so let that be said then.
Oh.
Let that be said then.
Oh.
So that way, when I get my money, I'm gone.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? If it was about money,
Wow.
If it was about money, I'm just here for the money then.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? Because if I make her come up, what I'm supposed to do? I don't need you now.
Oh,
You see what I mean?
Oh,
If you've been pressing me about this and bills and this and that, because you up right now, and then here go when I'm up, I'm gone.
Sure.
I need a teammate. I don't need no daggone financial a roommate.
I mean, technically, this should eliminate the financial problems in the
See,
relationship.
when you're all in, the money stuff ain't it shouldn't be a factor.
True
You
that.
see what I'm saying? Say now that's where it comes in when picking your lady. If you got a lady that's squandering money, you know what I'm saying? Then that's where you as your money's up, that's where you got to hold on. Now we got to kind of be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, provide some
with this,
leadership.
that, and the
Gotta
other.
provide some leadership.
So whoever got the most money get this talk like that a little bit. You know, hold on, and we ain't gonna squander this. We ain't gonna squander that because we gonna need to do this or we gonna need to do that. You see what I mean? But now, if that's whoever the one's getting the money. Because if I was getting the money, I'd be saying that same thing. Hold on, now when you come in with $3,000 pocketbooks and all this and that, and you use the card, not your card, use the card. That's the house card.
True that.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so some of the comments the ladies is making, because they're going ham right now. Hold on, let me give y'all some feedback. Hold on, they got some things to say. Okay, so it's running right now. It's running.
On screen, man, so
Yeah, hey.
so we can see those
I know
comments.
it's right.
So-
as soon as he starts saying something about the women in cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
Tell
So
Tarek to send you another
so she
25.
said. So some of them said.
Tell him
So first off, my man Ty Major.
or if he was going to do, that's fine.
Come on, man. Hey, can we finish? Hey, we doing it live. We're gonna get that.
Ty Major say what?
So Ty Major said, "Just got my woman a hard wallet."
Nice. That's a secure man right there.
That's a secure man.
Yes, sir. That's a man who wants to empower his woman.
Then Cheryl said, "Independence, and then we stay out of your pockets." Hey, I like that right there too. Then Darla was like, "I got some power." And then Cheryl, I guess we're talking about real men don't think like that about who makes the most coins. Then Ebony was like, "Correct." Oh, guess who we ain't talking about? That's right. Simple. Guess who that is?
Who?
Vonda. Vonda's in the building. Yes. Yeah. So Demille was like mining And then Ebony put some question marks up, and then Cheryl said somebody sound like they sounded greedy. But these are old comments. I'm just going over all of them. Then Vonda says partnerships, equality in my relationships. Then Vonda gave you another one. Say that, Malik. And then Demir said more options changes everything. More options changes everything, no matter what.
If they change their circumstances, man, it's known.
Right. Then Kristen says harmony. And then Darla says provision is not solely financial. And then Ebony said, I like Ebony. She chocolate too. She says, if I make 10,000, we make 10,000. We need to see. We need to. She Team Taurus. No, she in Greensboro. She in Greensboro. Yeah. That's how we do in North Carolina, baby. Stephanie said, I need a team player. We come up together. We eat together. We hold each other up. And Phelan says it has to be a team effort to greatness. And Daughter was like, meaning my coin shouldn't make you feel like less of a man. What happens when, what's up with the man? You know, that's what you said? What happens when she making more coins and the man feeling insecure? What's the, should he not be?
Even she's what they call that, emasculating him because of that. If he shouldn't feel like that if he's a real man.
True that.
But if she's bringing that up, if that's an issue with her and she's bringing it up, you know, we should be like a real man and do this, or a real man and do this, or a real man and do that. You know what I mean? You need to just roll up out of there. You know what I mean? Because now he ain't a real man. He ain't a real man because his bread short. So what are you going to do when he gets bread?
Well, Ebony says...
You will find a real woman that don't talk that. Don't talk like that.
Right. He's just going to keep going back and forth.
Right.
All right, man, take
Come on, the barbers. You ain't got no commentary on this situation?
Yeah, you said
you the barber. You just bought your...
He already said he put his girl on.
No, he's scared to talk.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I told my girlfriend about it, and I mean, right now it's, you know, we both have it separately, but we already operate on, I guess, the foundation of we're doing all this together. So
nice.
Whatever I got, she got at this point, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that whole mentality should just keep growing as opposed to like, well, now I got this, now I'm on this. You know what I'm saying? It should be a foundation of this is the understanding. Whether you get 10,000 and I get $5, it's like we got 10,000 and $5, as opposed to, well, now that I have 10,000, my options are open. You know what I'm saying? Because women don't expect the same from us. So we don't expect it to be a thing of, okay, well now you come into money or you have a different circumstance now. Everything we had from the beginning is done. It shouldn't just start all the way over. Basically, is what I'm saying. So if you come into it as this is what we're doing collectively, then that's what it should be on my end.
And so then you can just holler at her and be like, yo, we was up in the office and Litecoin getting ready to come up. So then if she want to buy some, you provided wisdom, insight, you know what I'm saying, leadership. She didn't have access to come up here tonight and learn all this about mining and stuff like that.
I'm calling her right when I leave. But I mean,
there's some people that's not their thing though. Some people in the family, you the hustler. You know, they cool with the stable money. I'm not going to use my
Nara made a whole face right there.
I'm not going to use my lady as an example. I'm going to use my mama as an example. A while back, I tried to get my mama to start a business on her own. And one of the things she said...
give me the address. Hold on. I'm supposed to be taking care of my man.
From him?
Like
you said?
Okay.
Oh, what's the product? Hold up, man. Give a shout out for the product. Shout out for the product.
Oh, this is one of two products that I have. Can you give me that other one? So our company is called Growth. We have
two barbershop up in this joint.
All
The soap
natural
right there.
grooming products. So I wanted to show them this one, the new packaging. This is our first product, the all natural hair and body soap brick.
And you accept Bitcoin?
For this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only correct answer.
Yeah. So we sell online, but online you can't purchase with Bitcoin.
Tonight, not tonight.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right, there you go. Not yet.
So yeah, out of the barbershop, like I said, Best Cuts. We sell our all natural hair and body soap. We got coconut oil, shea butter, all essential oils. Everything's all natural. And then this is a leave-in conditioner. A lot of our clients ask, what they can put in their hair that's, light daily use. So we came up with something with aloe vera, olive M, which is another natural oil tea tree, lavender. All of these oils are good for your hair and skin.
What's the website they can get it at?
www.growth, and that's GREAUXPH.com.
Oh, right there. That's GREAUXPH.com.
Yep.
.com.
Growth.com.
All right. Support the man's business. He ain't taking Bitcoin, but hey, if you send him a message though, he might set something up. Okay, Malik, go back to what you were saying.
Where was we at?
You were talking about, I guess, not having the competition or something like that. No, he was saying he was going to tell his lady as soon as he get in the car.
So about some women, some people, that's not their thing. That's not their thing. So and sometimes in some of the best relationships, a man is probably like the hustler, the go getter, to go find.
You was telling your mama's story. Right. Okay.
Right. And in a lot of situations, it's like that. So, like in a situation like I experienced this with my mom a while back. I asked my mom about starting her own business, and I just gave her all the information and all kinds of stuff. She had all of the tools and know-how and everything. She said, "No, when you get here, long story. When you get here, you can do all of that stuff of a business stuff and all that stuff. Just let me know what I need to do, and I do it." So some people just let them know just get them a program and then they'll do the program, but they don't want to go through the ups and downs of starting a business. They don't want to go through the setting up this and every day it's an uncertainty. So my principle, what I be saying is that women want leadership, and when they just want assignment. So even if it's something that you need her to do, go drop this money off or go pay the bill. Like, they'll be a part, but they don't want to like call all the shots because there's more responsibility. I think that women are always looking for good management skills. I will step all the way out there. The best women are the best managed women. I said that. I think that the women. Okay. Go ahead.
The best women are the best managed women. The best women who can handle management. Because an honest woman is letting you know that she wants some management. She does not want to make all the decisions. And you get the woman who's making all the decisions and making the most money, she tired. She like super tired. And she's like, she's frustrated because she got to make all the decisions. So women love them some management. So the better the leaders are, that's why they're looking for a man with some balls. When you got some balls, they're ready to do what, like you said, your mama, that's what your mama was saying. He got some balls. When you handle all that, then tell me what I need to do. That means if your daddy would have been a gangster and was like, tote the pistol, she would tote the pistol. If he'd have been like, keep the house clean, she'd have kept the house clean. If he'd have been like, you're going to have to go out there and work and sew these pants up too, she'd have done that. But I feel that women are much more receptive, but I think that also turning them on to acts that are empowering in that act. Like if she would learn how to shoot a pistol, then if there would ever a chance where he fell on the ground, she would know how to get somebody off of her. You see what I'm saying? You're going to learn in the way that you do it. I want you to go down there and get the business license for me. I got to go talk to the contractor. You don't want to go down there and talk to these people, these men and stuff, but just go down there and fill this paper out and then you sign for it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, I believe that we're definitely the protectors of women.
For sure.
And all the way out.
And they want that.
And everything. So we're definitely protectors of women. And we're responsible for our women. You see what I mean? So like if I use the example all of the time where if your lady broke down on the side of the highway, the first thing somebody gonna see her and say, "Where's Kayed? Mm-hmm. Where's Kayed?" Right. At the very least, Kayed didn't show about what to do with that car, how to get off the highway real quick, what to do in that situation, or where's he at? Where's boys at? But if you are broke down on the highway, nobody's going to say, "Where's his woman at?" You see, wow. Nobody's going to say, "Where's his woman at?" I mean, it could be an accidental fire in the house, but if she's known to have a man, everybody's going to want to know, what did you do? What did you do to save that house? What did you do to save that family? But nobody's going to say, what did she do? Nobody's going to say, because it's not, innately we are supposed to be the protector. We're supposed to have that umbrella of safety over our women, right? Now, as far as who's getting more bread and who's doing what and all this and that, whether they need to be managed or not, I don't know that, because I'm all over the place when it comes to all of the stuff I do. So in my particular case, I need certain help with, women are the ones that can do all of the multitasking. Mm-hmm. They can do 6 or 7 things at one time and everything work out smooth.
She a better nurturer than you too, ain't she?
Definitely that. and I can and they can help even me get organized and stuff like that. I'm the one at a time person. I mean, having this done right now with you right now is nothing else getting done. But somehow, if there was a woman in this conversation, she'd be texting, setting up a babysitter. She'd be making sure some food getting taken off the stove. There's a few other things to be getting done if this was a woman in this having this conversation. So that's where the beauty is of our difference. So I'm not going to all the way agree with that hardcore statement that you made about that they need managing or the best women need managing. Because I don't want to go into that because in my case, I just need a good woman that kind of can roll with me, can see what's missing with me,
but you still
and
gave
fill in right there.
Yeah, but that's still an assignment. She's seeing you leading, and then she's filling in the gaps. But if you wasn't leading, then she wouldn't have anything on the side.
Okay, but that's
you
cool.
Look out for. That's what I meant.
I
didn't mean like Hitler management. I didn't mean like Gestapo management.
Okay, well that's what I'm getting right. So,
I mean heavy-handed management.
Because of the controversial way that you said that just now.
That's how I talk.
That's cool. I don't even got time to get in them. I don't even want to get into them. I say the wrong thing all the time, but that's one thing I want to stay away from.
Right. Well, this is time for me to tell my story before I ask Michael Phoenix what do you think. I think Adam was a pure punk. I've really been saying this about Adam in the Bible. Because Adam had Lilith first, before Eve.
He had who first?
Lilith. He had a wife who was made from the earth just like him, and she was his equal. And Adam cried like a girl and said, God, she too much. And God removed her
and set him to
and took a lower thing. Instead of an equal, he made Eve out of a rib, an extra rib. That's why she was so weak. Now, hold on. That was the first chump move. So I want you to count fingers. First chump move was he couldn't handle a woman who was his equal, made from the same thing he was made from. Mm-hmm. 2, he went crying to God about it instead of handling it himself. 3, he got a weaker replacement. Damn.
Side piece. Side piece.
He got a side piece. He made Eve a side piece, right?
No,
that's good. No, then after that, he left Eve unprotected. Because when the devil came and talked to Eve, where was Adam? That's what you just said. Everybody talking about Eve ate the apple. Well, I'm asking the question, Knucklehead, where was Adam at? Was you over there masturbating? You didn't have Lilith. What was you doing, naming animals? No, you supposed to be there protecting her from the evil. Now watch this. Say, well, Eve. So then
she can't blame it all on her.
Hold on. She ate the apple. We'll go with that. But then when you walked up on her, you didn't even know how to correct her. You didn't know how to give a good management. You didn't even say, where's the snake that talked about our father? I'm going to kill him. If a man come in your house and offend your wife and poison her, what you finna do? Don't say it on camera, but just nod your head if you finna do. Ain't you finna do something?
Yeah, we're gonna do something.
We finna go find him, right?
Right.
At least talk. Right?
At least talk, yeah.
It's gonna be a short conversation. Right, but Adam didn't even say, where's the devil? He bit into the same apple and led into the same thing. And then, when God shows up, he hides and then blames it on Eve. Adam was a sucker. And then what happens? They get put out this great garden. Me and you got to work so hard because of sucker ass Adam. And that whole principle goes to evil prospers because good men don't stand up. The whole story of Adam is about a good man didn't stand up when evil was present.
Say that to them. That's a good one. Evil prospers because a good man don't stand up.
Evil, it don't stand up. You ain't gonna sit there and disrespect no female. And me and Malik is on the bus. We on the bus. We riding on the bus. We chilling, talking about good cryptocurrency. And then all of a sudden, you damn,
trying to choke you,
doing something sideways. Like we're gonna say, hey, bro, like you're not gonna. Today's not the day, good day for you to choke her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all normally got going on, but today's not a good day for y'all to get that down. So, ladies, if you see that the man is not willing to stand up to evil, then what you got? You see what I'm saying? That's a good one right there. Now we gotta go over here to Michael Phoenix and see what he got to say about this whole situation. He been all up in the cut. What's your take on this leadership thing with the ladies
Sure.
And the men, come on, give it to me before my battery dry out.
Let me be as succinct as I possibly can be.
Okay.
So the way I view it is that
This is a real barbershop, y'all.
we all have
took it somewhere way deep.
we all have our own creative capacities, and we all have our own intelligences, and we all have the ability to work together when we choose to.
Mm-hmm.
And when we choose to, that's where the magic happens. And when we're all able to collaborate in such a way where my strengths are brought to shine, your strengths are brought to shine, and the weaknesses that I have are buttressed by someone else's strengths, that makes a relationship where the synergy of it is greater than the individual parts. You know, it's not the sum is greater than the whole. The capacity of the single unit together is greater than the sum of the individual parts, right? So I try not to get into being specific and generalizing about women. I try to understand each individual woman and what she excels at. Being in the tech industry and working in what I do, I rely daily on the intelligent, creative, technical abilities of several women to fill in the gaps.
Okay, player. Several women.
Fill in the gaps where my knowledge is lacking. Right? So
Several women. Okay.
Several. Okay.
it's a team, right?
That's it, right?
Is there several men too?
Yes, there are.
Oh, well, you didn't mention them. He only mentioned them.
We're talking about women, though, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
The notions or the stereotypes that women aren't good at math and they don't have the technical capacities and this, that, and the other is bunk. It's like I work daily in a situation where that's just not the case. So for someone to say I can't do this or I'm not going to be able to do that, specifically in terms of cryptocurrency and the math behind cryptography and trying to understand this thing, like, to me, it's just someone's telling themselves a lie. And it's really about how do I want to empower myself and how can I empower others to make decisions in a way that we all benefit from it.
True that.
So if I'm making decisions that are solely based on my own well-being, okay, I got myself on point. Now, how do I get the rest of my team on point? And whether it's a man or a woman, I really don't care. You know, it's how can I get the whole team moving up in the right direction. So, you know, the specifics of each individual's person's capacities are what I'm interested in bringing out and having us all be aware of so that I can say, hey, you're really good at this. I'm not. What's your insight on this? And vice versa. I know a lot about this particular aspect, and it seems to me that there's some gaps in your knowledge set. So here, let me offer what I have to say about it, and you take it and you work with it in your own intelligence, and then we create the situation to be whatever it is, and move forward that way.
Bam, and that runs right back to empowering the family through mining. That's a big statement. That's what you started all of this when you was like mining. Would you say mining will save the financial situation of the family?
Mining is the poverty solver, right? But to back up the gentleman's point, it's been proven that women are better traders than men. There's actually statistic proof.
The hearts are getting ready to flow.
Right.
The hearts are getting ready to flow.
The heart's flowing.
The heart's getting ready to flow right now. He getting ready to get some love right now.
But again, it's not Nari saying this. This is like people way smarter than Nari.
No, he ain't gonna say it. It's not him saying it.
But it's like women CEOs actually perform better profit-wise than their counterparts, right? So to talk about in that situation where she came up $10,000 trading, and she's saying that, well, I need him to handle the bills too. That can easily be solved by saying, look, biologically, according to DNA, we know who the better person is to make trades, right? So let's allocate $2,000 that only you can make trades with. Right? We know our electricity is this. We know our rent is this. We know the water is this. You got $2,000. Flip that.
That's how that's supposed to go.
Now, it can even be my own personal $2,000, and it touched none of your $10,000.
Right.
But now it's your job to make sure that the lights are on, the water is paid, the rent is paid through that.
Wow. I like that. Mm-hmm. So if I'm polyamorous, I'm going to make more money.
Yeah, you're going to make a lot more money.
Polyamorous.
I mean, I got more than one wife, more than one lady.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you into that. That's why I asked the question. Not for me. I was asking for you.
No,
I was asking for you.
into that.
I was asking for you. I was asking for you.
No, you were asking. You see this? No.
The camera's not on my face. So I'm asking for these guys.
No, it's like that polyanimal stuff.
Polyanimal.
Confusion.
So now that's regular mining. So does that include?
That's just trading, though. That's just trading. Like
That's
you
just trading.
Have wifey handle trading. She got $2,000, $5,000, how much ever she feels comfortable with that she needs to flip on a monthly basis to pay the bills.
About the mining, how does that work, and what is mining exactly? Of course, we hear about it all the time, but what does that mean to mine? Let's say a particular coin.
Okay.
Let's say Ethereum.
Right. So mining is how the blockchain stays honest. Right. Somebody has to go in and actually prove this transaction happened. Yes, you did have the bitcoins. Yes, it's not double spent. Yes, it's actually all.
What do you mean when you say double spent?
All right. So a lot of people don't know that Bitcoin actually solved a mathematical problem, right? Like, how do you prevent a digital version of something from being copied? Like your picture that's on Facebook right now,
Right.
Right? They can copy that 1,000,000 times. If that was money, it wouldn't make good money,
Right.
right? But now there's actually a way that your picture, your favorite picture, we can make it so that it's identified as a unique piece. Anytime somebody copies it, it has a different code on it.
Okay.
Right? So now that picture can actually become valuable. Right? Because there's only one copy of that picture, nobody else can copy it.
Okay.
Right? So on the mining part of it, or that's the problem that Bitcoin solved, is how do you make digital versions of something uncopyable?
No more counterfeit.
No more counterfeiting.
No more counterfeiting.
Where does mining come in and why?
Right? So mining is needed to prevent to actually have the normal counterfeiting part. So mining is computers all over the world that all have transactions of Bitcoin. You can actually go online and you can see the very first Bitcoin transaction that was made. You can see the last one that was made 2 seconds ago. It's all stored on computers. So every computer has a copy of the exact same thing, right? The way that we know something is wrong is if one computer ends up with a different copy than all the other computers. Right? That computer is going to say, hold up, why doesn't mine match all the other ones? Right?
Right.
And the only way that computer is going to be able to solve that problem is to completely ditch its log and then copy the logs of all the other ones that's correct. So this is how the system stays in sync.
Okay.
Right? So in order for
But how does the miner
what does a mining computer do? Why is it
in the transaction?
Why
Maybe
do
if
they
you
call it a rig? Why does it take up? Why does it have to be certain type of computer and be and take up so much space, so to speak?
All right, cool.
I've seen pictures of people using a whole room this size just to have their mining rig in it.
Very true. Well, but they can limit it to one, but they just want to make more money at that point, right? The more miners you add on, the more chances you get. So if I wanted to buy that from you right now, you said $10.
Right.
Normally, right now, I pay you with a credit card or a bank card. You need that third party there to verify I have the $10, and the $10 is in there, right? And for doing that, they collect their 3% transaction fee. PayPal, credit cards, or whatever. That's how they stay in business.
Right.
Right. With the mining part, when I send you that $10 equivalent, there's someone downstairs that I have to let up. 1 second.
where's the key? I go get him. Mike can hold the phone.
No, I'm Tarek here. Someone's coming downstairs right now for you, brother. All right, cool. Yeah, you're in the right building if you see a Christmas tree. All right, someone's coming downstairs in just a sec. All right, my Harlem brethren is coming through.
Yeah, somebody else getting right.
I'm gonna give him the key.
Yeah, you're gonna love the story of the Harlem brethren.
All right. So with the Bitcoin, when I sent you that $10 in Bitcoin,
Yeah.
it's encrypted with a key. That transaction is encrypted.
Yeah.
Right. Miners then have to go in and try to crack that key. Right. A miner does nothing but solve algorithms. Right. It's a dumb computer. You can't put a graphics screen on there. All it does is just solve algorithms. That's it. Right. So it's going to try to guess as many times as possible what cracks this key. Right. So when you hear about hash rate for in mining, the hash rate is just how many times per second, how many calculations per second can your miner run. If your miner can run 100 calculations per second, it has nothing against a miner that can run 1,000,000 calculations per second. Because that miner that can run 1,000,000 calculations per second is going to have a way more higher probability of cracking that key than yours that can run 100 calculations per second.
So what's the difference? What's the difference in computers, or what's the difference in a miner that can calculate 100 or do 100 calculations per second as opposed to one that can do 1,000,000 calculations per second?
The
That
price.
size?
Yeah, the size, the price, the motherboard, the chips in that miner, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Right. So my Mac could be more powerful than that Dell. It's no different.
Right.
Right.
So why would that transaction? How would that transaction reach your computer? How would that transaction reach your mining rig for you to make money?
Okay. So when that Bitcoin transaction happens, keep in mind the Bitcoin network still exists, right? So the minute I send that transaction, there's a broadcast to the network that this transaction just happened. Right now, it has 0 confirmations. That means no miner has gone in yet to try to crack this, right? The way that it works now is that the miners would actually look at the coin, at the transaction that has the highest transaction fee. It's no different than PayPal with a 3% transaction fee. But you may want to get yours processed quickly, so you're willing to pay more than somebody else in the Bitcoin ecosystem, right?
Right.
So you want to pay $5 to get your transaction done right now. The miners will then sort through which one's more profitable. Oh, this guy wants to pay $5. Cool. Let's try to crack that code. So it's going to try now as fast as possible to crack that encryption that was sent in that transaction. Right? Okay. It cracks that encryption. It proves that this transaction actually happened. It can look through your logs. Yes, this person actually had the money to spend. But now this is what actually seals it onto the chain of transactions to say that yes, this is a legitimate valid transaction. And the miner, the computer that actually does that, gets rewarded with the transaction fee. So this is how more Bitcoins are released into the ecosystem. Right?
Yeah.
So that same 3% that would have went to PayPal, MasterCard, or whoever, it goes to you, your computer, because you're using your electricity to play a part in solving these Bitcoin transactions in the blockchain ecosystem. There has to be an incentive for you to do that. Right? You're not just going to use your electricity just because I hate banks so much that I'm willing to pay $20 more for electricity for this new banking system.
So how does what gets you the work? Mm-hmm. Of course, you have your computer set up with robots or something like that to look for work.
Yeah.
What's to keep you working, and what's in it for you to promote your next door neighbor getting a mining rig, or your whole neighborhood getting a mining rig?
The first question I'm going to go with your first question is, how does the transaction know to come to my mind so I can make some money?
Well, the transaction doesn't know to come to your mind, all right? The transaction just goes in a pool of unconfirmed transactions.
Okay.
Right? The miners themselves may be looking at this pool of unconfirmed transactions, and through that they're going to look at which one is the most profitable to try to settle right now. Right?
Right.
So your miner says, this one has a $10 transaction fee. Peace, King.
All right, what's up, man? Hey, all right, how you doing? All right.
Well then, brother, it's been a while.
Yes, sir. Man.
Welcome.
Good, man. They good?
All right, good. Everything's good.
Excellent. Jasmine.
Hey, how are you?
There you go.
Please, come on in. We're in the middle of a Facebook Live stream.
All right.
Yeah, discussing
Mining.
and
in the barbershop.
Education. But please, have a seat. Bring some more chairs. Okay.
So you see, the mining process is why we said mining can alleviate poverty. Because if you're in, like before, you had no other chance. When somebody swiped between Visa and MasterCard and so on and so forth, then you weren't getting any of that, even though you was, only one company had a monopoly on that. And then companies started saying, hey, I want to get into the transaction side of that, Okay, so that's kind of like the principle of mining. And I wanted, Malik is still asking some good questions, but I wanted to get into like the browser mining too, because that's what the OWO coin is on. Phelan says, why do you want to crack the key? Oh, I got Michael Phoenix right here. He can answer some of these damn questions. Get over here. Yeah. They said, so Phelan wants to know, why do I want to crack the key? Why do I want to crack the key?
Cracking the key is what actually solves the mathematical problem. So
For me to get my money?
yeah, so that's how the ledger proves itself is the next hash that goes into the hash itself that goes into the algorithm that cracks the key is what allows the next chain, the block on the chain, to be verified as accurate, because the algorithm proves out that this hash that went into the algorithm then creates the nonce that goes into the algorithm creates that the next block on the chain. So it's finding that hash that is essentially what you're trying to do by cracking it. So once you find that hash, then you can say, hey, I found the next block, and that gets transmitted to the network to say, hey, this is a valid transaction. And then they go through the process of saying, yes, we agree, blah, 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 blah. And then that becomes a legitimate block on the chain. And then they go into the next one and try to find the next block on the chain by cracking the next hash.
And that's why they call them dumb computers, because the computer is the actual miner. So like, think of yourself as a employment agency, right? And you pay all the bills, but you make all the revenue, and then you have to feed or pay a check to the people that work at your employment agency. So if you got a room this big as we're in right now, full of computers that are mining, you own that mining farm.
Right.
That's a mining farm. So if you got one, you got a rig. More than one, you do have a farm. Now you might have a mining garden, I would say, if you got 2 rigs. But once you start going in and like putting some bread up and, $5-10 grand, and you got a couple mines going, a couple of servers and things like that, now you have a farm. That's why that's the big business. That's what I said, mining, because if you own more mines, you got a house and it's paid for, you want to take out a mortgage, guess what? Start a mining farm.
Right. So it's just really a brute force attempt at doing calculations as fast as possible. If you just think of it, you whip out your calculator and you run numbers, however fast you can run the numbers compared to someone else next to you. If you're faster at running the numbers, then you can go through the list of potential hashes. So the hash rate says if one computer has a million hashes per second, and the next computer has 1,000 hashes per second, it can go one computer has a million hash rate can go through a million calculations as compared to the next one, and that basically differentiates the capacity of your rig to find the probability it's going to have to find the next block or the next hash in the list of things to have.
Why or how does it use up so much electricity? That's an excellent question.
The more calculations it does, it's the more processing that's happening. So if we look at it from a hardware perspective, the bits that run through a computer are just on and off of electricity. So 1 is on, 0 is off, and as that switch gets flipped back and forth, that's electricity doing that. So a rig that does 1 million hashes per second, there's more flips of the switch that's going off and on, which means there's more electricity going through it, so it's going to consume more from the power grid.
So people are trying to make processors faster to process more payments or transactions so people can get paid more?
So there's 2 different considerations. A, the ability of the chip itself, the less electricity that has to run through the channels to flip the switch on and off, the less electricity there is to actually do the calculation. So it's kind of 2 main variables: the amount of hashes it does per second, as well as how much electricity has to flow through, just basically like a wire, how much electricity has to flow through that wire to flip that switch on or off. So the smaller the channel that is used to flip that switch, the less electricity there is. So when looking at a rig, you have to think of both the hash rate as well as the amount of power it does to do that calculation.
Somebody asked, can you turn it into solar panels and furnaces?
Yeah, so solar panels, there's large investors, they're looking at trying to buy up hydroelectric dams to power their mining equipment.
The hydroelectric dam that's a genius freaking idea.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you live by a river that is always flowing, just put a turbine of some sort in the water itself, and it starts to spin. It creates electricity, and it flows into your mining rig. So there's a lot of different ways to think of this sustainably. Yeah. Solar power, wind power, hydropower, all of that is. Yeah. The more genius you can apply to your situation and what assets that you have, thinking of it in terms of the parcel of land that you're on, how do you strategically think about the amount of wind that you have, the amount of sunlight that you have? Do you have a river, or like what are the different assets on your parcel that you can use to set up a structure to feed in the electricity that you need to pump it? And if you can set it up sustainably, such that you always have a profit bottom, then you're always making money.
Jack.
Yeah, so if you have a knowledge of sustainable electric power grids, use that to your advantage. Get that on lock, so you know that your power input is always at basically a net bottom, and then start getting into your mining and optimizing your mining from there. So, what are your strengths in that situation?
Browser mining.
Browser mining. Quick thing. Gotta introduce the homie Matt Soul City Matt. Yeah, Matt Soul City.
I'm in here.
All right. Back in 2014.
Jasmine, we see you back over there too, Jasmine. We see you back over there.
I can't go nowhere without Jasmine. My right hand.
All right.
We gotta do the birthday introductions, or?
Oh, you on my feed, everybody got to introduce their zodiac. So it's Team Taurus, and since we in DC, that's what we repping. So I'm Team Taurus and
Aries.
Team Aries. Nice. Okay.
Team Cancer.
Oh, what?
Slow down. Hey. Listen. Y'all just kind of.
Cancers all day. Well, was it 2014?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
is that going to lead to the browser mining?
It's going to lead to the browser mining.
Okay.
But back in 2014, when I was going up and down Harlem preaching Bitcoin, right? Matt was one of the gentlemen that I reached out to. They did a comedy show.
Yeah, actually, erotic poetry that's just funny as hell.
Yeah. Erotic poetry and what.
You still do it, man.
Hey.
14 years.
Nice.
Okay.
But they're humorous brothers, very, very funny. Right. And then 2 days ago, Addie's like, "Hey, I lost my Bitcoin. Where those Bitcoins you gave me back in 2014?"
It's funny. I've been looking for you for 2 years.
Wow.
And I was, where's this brother? And I don't know why my brain didn't say just go to Facebook, damn it. It's probably there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was talking to somebody, to my other partner, and I brought your name up again. And something just hit me at that point, Facebook. And then I went to Facebook, and then within an hour later, you were right there.
Nice.
So it is what it is.
So he gave you some Bitcoins in 2014, and you can't access them?
Man, that's been my story.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The story really is funny. I can't talk about Bitcoin without saying his name. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the first one to really introduce it to me, explain it to me. But at that time, I was heavy knee deep. I own a nationally broadcasting cable TV network.
Okay.
So I was heavily into getting the TV network off the ground.
Okay.
We were in the beginning stages of getting ready to launch on television nationally to 100 million homes, and I was in that in that mode of thought.
And you bought up a whole lot of Bitcoin, didn't you? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's about like $10 or something like that.
Okay.
Was shared with me to check it out, to see how it works. Went out my brain because I was working on the TV network.
True.
Recently, of course, Bitcoin is
All
now
over the
hot. Everybody's
news.
talking about it. People still don't understand it. They still don't get it. And I was like, damn, shit, I got some Bitcoin somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I need to check this out, see what's going on, and really get back into it, and really, and, I just can't find them damn Bitcoin. I can't find the wallet. I don't know what's going on, and I'm looking under all kind of things for my wallet and stuff. Well, it's not really a real wallet. It's somewhere else. But,
Right.
So, but I keep talking about it. His name keeps coming up. I got to find his brother and just reacclimate myself with him and start to discuss it again. Get myself back into. I got with a group. Some friends of mine, were talking to me about, we found this thing. So I got in with them. Got some big, got some into cryptocurrency thing.
Gotcha.
We got some Bitcoins, pieces of Bitcoin, small percentages, but I'm now in it now again. I'm actively in it. I'm still looking for that wallet.
Damn right.
That damn thing. I'm pissed too. That's all I'm pissed. But I'm back in it again. So I'm reconnecting with another brother out of Atlanta who's an expert on it also. So
ATL.
We're talking about it. So I'm in it again, and I'm bringing all my friends in it. You know what I'm saying? I got Gavin in on it. I got everybody in on it. So I'm here. I was in D.C. for a funeral and stuff today, but I said, I got to call him. We told me he was in D.C. I said, well, sure, I'll be in D.C. this weekend. We got to link up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I am trying to find them dead Bitcoin deal.
Damn right. I came all the way up from Atlanta to see him.
Okay, well, all right.
So, and then he coming back down next week. We got a black tie Bitcoin ball that this sister's having. She's a Bitcoin enthusiast.
Oh.
So he calls himself the Bitcoin purist.
Okay.
So I said, I got to splash you and put you in the room, you know what I'm saying, with everybody else.
Black tie Bitcoin
Ball.
What's
Right.
it going to be?
It's going to be Perimeter Center, Atlanta.
When?
Sunday the 17th.
Sunday the 17th.
Sunday the 17th. So
Thanks.
you're invited. I don't know if you can make it or not.
It's
It's $40 and you gotta come on through, and they only taking Bitcoins.
So I got to pay with a Bitcoin or
pay with
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
How much is the price in Bitcoin?
$40 in Bitcoin,
Oh,
whatever
it's
that's gonna be.
$40
So it's gonna
Bitcoin.
be
I got that.
0.0. Exactly. I know we got,
In my Coinbase wallet, I'm in it now. Wallet.
Yes.
I can transfer over $40
to them.
and I can get in the door with my black tie.
Jasmine, pull that up on your phone. Jazz, pull that up. It's called.
Bitcoin. I don't know if I'm trying to spend it.
He one of those guys. He's super fresh.
That's right. I'm
already know what it is.
I'm gonna save a whole bunch of
I
money.
give you this little regular piece of paper.
I'm gonna drop a
before I
bunch
get
of money
Bitcoin.
into it, but hey, you gotta.
So both of y'all rather give me $10 than give me $10 in Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to get up any more Bitcoin.
Hey, on a different note, that Bitcoin. No. Quick question. No, we gotta get back to the mining. On the cost to transfer money with Bitcoin. That's what we need to find a cheaper way. Like I was telling him, I want to be able to.
I just sent him $8, but
Yeah,
the whole thing was $22.
Yeah, you
So it
should
cost
have
me.
said that.
I got to pay for my fish plate. I wanted to be first.
Right, so you're the first one to buy a fish plate at some cafe with Bitcoin.
I bet.
He owns a restaurant. By the way, he owns a restaurant.
Okay.
So he says in North Carolina.
Over 23 restaurants around the country. That kind of restaurants is my thing.
Oh,
I can run restaurants with my eyes closed.
We
That's
don't
my
talk.
thing.
We don't talk.
Yeah.
There it is. There we go.
I'm
There we
saying now,
go.
but
There we
not
go.
with the Bitcoins and stuff.
I'm talking to you about that.
So he wanted to say he won't start accepting it. So I was showing him an example, and I was like, I might as well go ahead and make the first purchase.
Okay.
So I was like, what's
Bitcoin
the
for a burger?
no fish
No,
plate?
fish plate.
I got a fish plate, grits, and eggs.
Okay.
Whenever I go to Greensboro, I get to walk in. It's already paid for. So now he owed me a plate because I was the first to spend
There you go.
Bitcoin with
I'm gonna
him.
send you the already paid for a ticket in your inbox in a little while. So just so that because they don't know all that yet. Remember I told you my
Oh, you gonna send me my receipt and all that?
My crew don't even know about all that.
Okay, so whatever your restaurant is too, I'm gonna buy something off of you too.
No, well, I don't have a restaurant anymore. I just consult now. I sold all my joints. I just consult now. Took the money and ran.
Okay.
You know, so I am going to open up a brand new one soon, but after probably another 2 years from now.
Okay.
About the cheaper way to like if I wanted to accept Bitcoin. Of course, Coinbase is charging too much for my customers to pay for the fee to make their transaction. I wouldn't necessarily because I like to look at it from both sides, from a business aspect and a consumer aspect. It's costing too much for them to spend with me.
Very true.
How do we get that cheaper?
That's not going to happen for quite some time because as more transactions come into the network, it's naturally going to create a bottleneck in the network, right? And then the miners are now going to start choosing which ones to execute first based on the transaction fee,
right? The problem in that is really just minors choosing to settle the highest transaction fee first.
It's just like selling drugs. If there's a choice between why did people move from weed to coke? Because the profit was, look at Blow. The dude was moving all that weed. He went to jail. My man was like, if you can move the same amount of weight in coke, you gonna be going crazy. And what did he do as soon as he got out? He switched. He chose what I can make the same amount of money for the same amount of effort. So since they got a mine, why am I gonna mine Litecoin and make $3 on transaction when I can get this Bitcoin transaction and make 14 right now?
Easy.
Your mind is gonna say that because you have your mining set up program to look for the fastest or the most transaction fee. Is that correct?
Transaction fee, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what your mind. That's why the rig can end poverty. So don't think of it as you being fair.
Damn, someone made $12 off your transaction.
No, it was an $8 transaction.
They made 14. They made $14.
$22.
Yeah, someone made $14 off that transaction. I hope it was my miner. Thank you, I appreciate it. Keep them going.
Right.
Yeah, so how does that work, and how would that be cheaper? Because it would be difficult for me to introduce. Oh, I say accept Bitcoin, and then they'll be hit with that other roadblock. It'll be really short lived if somebody comes to the restaurant and buy $25 worth of stuff, and then they have to pay $45.
Very, very short.
But if he got Bitcoin, he understands. So what?
Yeah, if they have Bitcoin, they should be aware of the transaction fees.
No, it's still not. It's not no so what, because we're trying to. It's the same way, like I said, I sell Caribbean food, so I have to educate people on Caribbean food before they get it. So then it better be good when they get it, because this was something they never had. So same way, if I'm introducing somebody to making a transaction with Bitcoin, and then they get hit with that high fee, they're disappointed. They won't come back no more.
Look, hopefully they understand the technology, but I definitely do understand that's an education hurdle, right? There's really nothing you can do about it. It's no different than when the internet first started and you're trying to get online, you had that dial-up, and if you were in a neighborhood that had a whole bunch of people trying to get online, you slow down.
Yeah, you don't know what that girl said when you asked her, do you like me? You had to wait on the answer, you know what I'm saying? You had to wait before you find out.
Right. So eventually the technology is going to get better where you don't have that problem. But for now, there's just nothing we can do about the progress of the technology. Now, when the person comes to the restaurant and it comes time for them to pay, they can change their mind and say, hey, look, transaction fees are $14 right now. I'll give you cash instead. The next time they come through, the transaction fee might be 2 cents, like it's supposed to be, and they're going to be more comfortable paying that, right? But it's not always consistently going to be
the 14 that he paid in transaction fee, it's not always like that. It just so happened to be that's what he had to pay right now.
Yeah, because it's incredibly high right now.
Because in Bitcoin, everybody's buying and everybody's selling. So somebody's like, yo, I want to get out of it before it get down to 12, and somebody was like, I seen it at 17, so I'm gonna get it at 14. So it's all kinds of traffic out there. So it was just like if you was in the city or wherever you was at on your block and you had the new pack, all you had to, if it was a bunch of fiends on the block, all you had to do is hold your hand out.
I like the way you always go back to the drugs.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's the easiest thing.
I can believe this something going on.
It's the easiest thing.
I've been out of the loop on that so much. We've been all just using slabs of fish or pounds of food, pounds of chicken, wings, something like that. We've been all using any other kind of analogy.
With these,
That stuff be having me like, man.
because I'm trying.
This is on video, bro.
Because I want people who understand that vernacular to leave that occupation.
Definitely.
I want them to say, hey, I can think like this and change my product. Because before I came into weed or hard or soft, it was cutting grass. It was lemonade.
Exactly.
It was apples. It was whatever. I'm always moving for the next highest profit margin. I'm sitting here. But it's another profit margin. It ain't about the product. It's about a profit. You got out of restaurants. Why? Because it was too much effort for the same profit margin. Right. Now you are only going to move back into something. You look like you may be over 35, and you like, look, hey, I want high profit margins, not that much work.
Right.
So he done already been through that. So the same, and the guy at McDonald's and the guy on the block think the same way. They think the same way. They're like, yo, I got to get some money to take this girl out. One of them will take more risk than the other will. So that's why I always use that, because that's the lower level. And like I said, it is for our people. We have a lot of our people who is going to get mad time when all this comes. I was on the front porch, and my lady, this was right when I first quit, but she didn't know none of my stories, and she was like, yo, I seen some dudes in there, they had the money counter and whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was like, if they'd have put all that energy into doing something legal, I wonder how much success they would have had. And I was like, that crushed I was like, dang. And I thought about like how much work that went through my hands. And I was like, how much energy I went through outwitting people to make sure I was successful.
And alive.
And alive. And not just from the cops,
Sure,
from regular old folks that looked like me, wanted something to do. Right. So now I don't want people to. I always say like from T.I.'s first album, don't be like me, be better than me. So I just use that example. You know what I'm saying? So that's
it's important to let people know they're gonna execute their good ideas too.
Yeah. I want everybody to liquidate, man. Liquidate, get out the game, and get you a mine.
Yeah, man, get up some that.
Something and learn. I mean, I don't care what you're mining. Today we can give out 3 coins right now. We might not give out the secret OVO coin. You know what I'm saying? But you should get you some OVOs. You should get you some light coins. You should get you some. The hemp coin is doing well. What you popping on right now?
Right now, I'm looking into getting electronium.
Everybody talking about that. Everybody talking about electronium right now.
Yeah, I think 4 or 7, something like that.
Electronium?
Yeah.
I remember when they started doing
I'm from the top.
Yeah, the penny at one point.
Let me pull my computer out.
actually about earlier.
Well, I just want I was going to introduce you to him so you get your questions asked about mine.
Got it.
But as soon as this laptop come open, I'm going to be finished. I'm going to Bittrex and get the trading tonight. You know what I'm saying? Unless I get the green light on turning my box on.
I believe it is. That's what I'm hearing.
Came up a little bit.
You know, maybe 6. You know what I'm saying?
That's different.
But,
I mean, considerably.
If you want to find 5 or 6,
I remember at one point, I have a friend of mine who got it at the penny. And then it went up to 7 cents. He was real happy and stuff. You know, he put
I can imagine.
I
got 700. What?
Yeah, he was like, oh, sorry, but I think he said it went down to 6 or something like that. It's around that area. So,
He ain't upset.
But I'm ready. You know, I'm just going to research. Like I said, on Monday when I get back, I'm going hard. I'm going hard in the research and make sure I study everything. Make sure
Who you buying through?
Right, we're on a couple of systems right now. So right now, I'm on USI Tech.
Hey!
Right, so
who you buying the electronium through?
Well, I don't know. I got to find it out.
Oh, I'll show you.
I'll
I'll try to get from Bittrex.
He's in
Okay.
already with that, so he's going to tell me how to get on with that.
So I'm USI and I trade.
Okay.
I do
Well,
so
we're probably doing the same thing.
So you should.
Yeah.
And then after you and I get really, really happy with our USI results, we'll present the numbers to Anari so he will stop being such a skeptic.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now he's spreading misinformation, calling them a Ponzi scheme. You are calling them you didn't call them a Ponzi scheme?
You've never heard me publicly say anything about those
Oh, yeah,
operations.
you still on there?
But they are a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, they are Ponzi schemes.
Of course it's a Ponzi scheme.
How do we know to watch out for a Ponzi scheme?
Well, any system that requires more people to join in order for them to keep paying out, that's a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, well then good. USI is not a Ponzi scheme. There we go. Thank you very much for just clarifying that
Well,
up.
they do require more people to join, right?
No, they do not.
Actually not.
No, they do not. No, because they pay off of their profits from their minings.
All right, cool.
They have rigs.
All right, look,
That's another way
cool.
you can get in. That's the most walking way, if I'm not mistaken, you can get into that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then USI, I'll do better research, but from my understanding, you can't promise returns.
That was somebody who explained it to you wrong. That was all.
You can't promise returns of cryptocurrency.
He not, but I can promise you returns on my profits.
All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get the ownership of that, and they're selling tokens.
Cool. Within 3 years, one of us will be right. Because they can't keep it up forever if they're not doing it the right way.
Okay, well there we go. We'll find out. Okay, browser mining, so I can get off of here and let these people go. Browser mining. What is browser mining?
So, in my opinion, my insights, browser mining, any of the new cryptocurrencies that are being created now, the only way that you're going to be able to compete is by having a vastly wide network of miners, right? I think that browser mining is going to become the foundation for social rewards, publisher monetizations moving forward. So what I mean by that is, right now, browser mining goes on. They just don't tell you about it. There are a lot of websites that you will visit that are using your computer to mine Monero. Monero is the most popular browser mineable coin, but they're just not telling you about it. So you can Google Showtime browser mining. There was a point where Showtime actually installed this browser mining plugin in their website. You're sitting on that website for 2 hours watching a movie, and that whole 2 hours they're using your computer to mine other cryptocurrencies.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And it's way more profitable than ads or any other monetization format right now.
Now, if you legitimize that and you make it a permission-based browser mining system, then I think you have great opportunity. So you can end up going to, let's say, WorldStar, for example, right? You get a pop-up notification from WorldStar saying, hey, look, we're mining OO. Click here if you approve to let us mine OO with your computer.
That's gangster.
Yeah. All right. So you can even have it split where WorldStar can say, well, we're mining OO. Click here. You get half. We get half.
Right. Whoa, that's more gangster.
Right. Or you can even start creating new engagement opportunities where you have a website that has a chat system on it. You want to be able to reward people for good comments. Right, you have the OO browser mining plugin installed on your website. Someone wants to give somebody props for their comment. That activates the miner. If that settles a mining transaction, then that person gets rewarded for that comment. Right. This becomes an entirely new way that the web is going to operate on how you get rewarded for interactions, how publishers monetize, and so on and so forth.
So I could put a browser mining in a webinar?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's easy. Right,
God.
but the reason why I'm very, very interested in browser mining is for the continent of Africa. Browser mining is where the enormous benefits are going to be, especially browser mining on your cell phone. Everybody has cell phones.
Right.
Right, and again, you have to have that incredibly vast network of miners to compete moving forward, and I don't think you're going to be able to get that without browser mining.
Wow.
And for you as the user, you don't have to go buy equipment. You don't have to go do anything special. You just download the Google plugin OO browser mining plugin, and you're good to go.
What's the timeline people can be expecting that OO plugin?
OO will be developed by the end of January. The OO blockchain will be ready to go by the end of January.
Including the plugin?
I'll keep you posted on that.
Okay. And when do you think, you said like in browser mining will kind of be a little more socially acceptable? What do you think the timeline on that is?
That's literally within the next 12 months. It's already happening now.
Okay.
Right? They're just not telling you about it.
Okay.
Right? Somebody just has to come out and actually legitimize the process of permissioned browser mining.
So you're an innovator, early adapter for that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's it for us tonight. Y'all got you got a website, big bro?
Yeah, www.soulcity.me.
And you based out of New York?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's the address? Give me physical.
Just find me on soulcity.me.
Okay. Instagram or Twitter?
Soul City, Twitter, and Instagram also.
Y'all everywhere. Just Google you.
Yeah, just Google me.
Yeah, we're gonna show the arm. We're gonna show the pieces.
Yeah, I'm down with stuff, you know. I'm on something. I know what I'm doing.
Hey, you kind of laced out over there. All right, Malik. I see your shirt says what? If you love your mama, what?
Love your mama. Eat at Summit Cafe.
Word.
Yeah, Summit Cafe, 1050 Summit Avenue. Best salmon patties in North Carolina.
Nice.
And just come on through. Right,
And you
right
still
on
challenging?
A&T
And
University.
you
I'm
still
waiting on
challenging?
any restaurant to run up on me. Yeah.
Okay.
Restaurant.
Not at home. You can't just run up
I
on me
can't
at home.
compete with nobody mama. No.
Okay. Michael Phoenix, you got a website for him or shout out?
MichaelPhoenix.me.
Nice.
Word. And of course, what's up with that OO?
OO.world.
When the white paper's gonna be ready?
The new white paper will be on the website in just a little bit, but the current white paper is there. We're just going to make it a little bit less technical, and it's it's a little bit more updated with all the conversations we'll be having.
Word up. All right, Coach Khayr is getting ready to holler at y'all. I did get a preview of the white paper. I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? I probably have the lowest ranking of technical skills, like in Northwest DC right now. But I'm doing good. I think I got a brown belt. That my squad gave me a black belt because I know how to team build and facilitate. So you know what I'm saying? I did pass some tests. So thank y'all for coming through. Team Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgos, Libras, Scorpio, Sagittarius, is Capricorn, Aquarius, and of course Team Pisces. The other day I left out the Capricorn, so I'm gonna get yeah. You got to be able to name them. So we're gonna get at y'all in a minute. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.